Hey there! In this video we're going to go over, as quickly as we can, how to fine-tune the in points and the out points on the deposition video in OnCue. So the first thing we'd want to do is to go to the proper screen layout, which is Edit Designations up there on the workflow ribbon. And then let's go down to the designations we want to edit. And that's our Connerly edits right here. And you'll notice that all of these icons are red. That means they have not been fine-tuned and you shouldn't play them in court because it's going to be sloppy. And so all of the fine-tuning is done in this pane right here called the video editor. And when you're on a designation, you can change the start point or the end point, and you use these buttons here. So these outside buttons, go next and go previous, actually just step you through the different designations you have in your list. But personally, I don't use those very much. I stick to clicking on them on the list so I know which one I'm on. And these middle three buttons right here, play, preview, and save. Now I'll get back to the play button in just a minute, but what it does not do is preview your designations. It just moves your playhead from where it is forward without it being in an increment. And speaking of increments, that's what these other buttons do. So this one steps us forward from the place we are by 1/10 of a second. This one does it by a full second, this one by 5 seconds. And these go in the reverse. Backwards 1/10 of a second, 1 second, 5 seconds. So let's actually just do it now and see how it works. We want to start off by clicking this right here. It actually defaults to it, but I just click it to do our start point. So let's preview to see how this sounds when it plays.
You mentioned earlier synced deposition.
And that was actually okay. So we'll save that. And notice that the front part of that icon turns silver. That lets you know that it's now taken care of. There's nothing more to do. You've saved it, you've tuned it, and you've saved it. So now we need to do the back part on that one. So let's go to the end point and preview to see how that sounds.
Above the other features. Does it?
Yeah, it should have ended on OK, so we want to actually back it up. And here's how I actually used to play. So I'll back it up a couple of seconds, and I'll play it to where I want it to stop and hit pause right where I want it to stop.
Above the other features.
Oop, I went a little past it, so let's just step it back a little bit using the 1/10 of a second increments and preview.
Above the other features.
Perfect. Now I save it. Go to the next one, do the same thing so you can see it happen again.
So once those sync files are in...
That one starts in a good spot, so I'm going to save. Go to the end using this button here. Preview it again.
Is anything like that? Can you...
A little bit long. Let's back it up a second and see how it sounds.
Or commas or dashes, anything like that.
Okay, that's good. Save that. Move on to the next one. And that's how it continues to work. So the only thing that's different between the silver icons and the red icons are when you see a yellow line on here. When you see a yellow line, what that means is that corresponds to one of these yellow hourglasses over here. And the yellow hourglass is telling you that it takes 12 seconds, or you can actually change that number if you want to, but by default, it's 12 seconds from one line to the next line. And so let's kind of see why this hourglass is there. So we can preview this. So I've highlighted this on the transcript around the hourglass, and up at the top of our transcript pane, there's another preview button, which is the eyeball.
Screen while the video is playing if the judge wants. Okay.
So what that preview just told us is that there's a pause in between the answer and the next question. And that's something we don't want to play in court. So this hourglass is telling us something that we don't want to play. So if we right-click on this, we say split before, splits before where you have it selected. See, now we have a designation that ends on wants, and then the next designation is separate. So now I can go to the start point of this next one.
Okay. Okay.
You listen to that okay, wait for the pause. This is where the play button comes
Anything
in
else?
really handy. Now you back it up 1 second after hearing where it started.
Anything else about designating?
Perfect. And that's how you fine-tune video. Hope you found it helpful.